Hello everyone, today we're going to be teaching you how to grow crystals. Now you can pick up a crystal growing kit at any dollar store near your town, and it'll come with crystal growing material that comes in many colors, so you pick the color that you want, and these are made of monoammonium phosphate, so you can pick some of that up if you wanted, but we're just using the kits, alright?
Right, so what you're going to do first is, you're going to start according to the directions. You start by measuring out the correct amount of water. Now what you want to do is, the way this works is, you're basically going to take the crystals, the minerals that are provided in the packets, or any minerals. I mean, you can use sugar, salt, any kind of small crystallized material you can use that's dissolvable in water. What you do is, what we've done is we have 4 kits here, and they're of varying different colors. They're all made of the same material. These are all monoammonium phosphate. You're going to take the crystals, we're going to use 4 different ones, kind of make it colorful if we can. You're going to measure out the correct amount of water to make what you need is called a saturate solution. A saturate solution, what it is you basically want an even mix between the crystals and the water you're adding in. A saturate solution implies that you can't add any more minerals to it to make it more dissolved. Basically, you're going to dissolve the maximum amount of crystal material into the water that you have. Okay? So what we're going to do is we have a flat bread pan, or a glass bread pan, so that way we can see the crystals growing. And we've already measured out the water. Now you need hot water because it has to dissolve in the water. Okay? So I'm going to pour this in. Jack, if you want to start opening the packages and pouring them in. Okay, now this is boiling hot water, so always make sure you have adult supervision because you don't want to burn yourself.
Unless you are an adult.
Unless you are an adult, of course, yes. Thank you.
So you can use any type of color you want, or that you picked up at the dollar store, or really any store, and you're going to want to pour that in the boiling hot water.
Yep.
We're going to make aquamarine.
Add that in, you stir, okay?
Now you're going to want to stir with a popsicle stick, or Mr. Fancy Pants call it a tongue depressor, or really anything you can stir it with.
Right, and the trick is that you want to make sure that you stir it until all the crystals are completely dissolved. Okay, that's the key, is making sure they're completely dissolved. So we got to stir it really good. I'm using a spoon. While Jack keeps stirring, I'm going to add some more water.
And when or if you finish stirring it and it all dissolves, make sure that if you touched any of this, or even if you didn't touch it, make sure to wash your hands after, because just in case you eat something after, you don't want to take any chances, unless you're a risk taker. There we go. Done stirring it. Well, that took about forever minutes to stir.
Yeah, it
and
really
dissolve
did.
all of it.
So the trick is to make sure there are no crystals left, as we specified. Make sure there's no crystals left when you're dissolving it. But you don't want to add too much water because you want to make sure that the water is saturated. That's the trick. It's better off to start with less water and have to add a little more until it's completely dissolved than start off with too much. Because if it's not a saturate solution, the crystals won't form right. So what we're going to do is, now that Jack and I have sat here for forever and dissolved the crystals, we're going to add a couple of rocks in. This isn't really necessary because the crystals will form in the jar, but it will give them more of a better shape, kind of like a cool landscape of crystals rather than just a flat plane. If you add some rocks in, make sure they're clean. We're going to add them right on into the solution.
And again, when you're done stirring, make sure to wash your hands. And also, if you're having trouble stirring the amount of water that's in there and dissolving the crystals, just add some more water, just a little more, not like a bunch more. And if that doesn't dissolve it, pop it and heat it up for like a minute, like we did.
Yeah. Sometimes if the liquid solution isn't hot enough, the crystals won't dissolve right, so you might have to keep heating it if that's the case, and that's actually what we did. We didn't add too much more water because I didn't want it to become unsaturated. So we heated up the liquid and it dissolved the rest of the crystals pretty rapidly. And
you don't have to boil the water when you put it in. You can just put it in like a measuring cup and then pop it in the microwave like Dr. Dade did.
Yep. So what we've done now is we've added the rocks to it. We're not going to stir it anymore. The rocks, we made sure that the top surface that's sticking out of the top of the rocks that are sticking out through the top of the liquid surface here. Make sure that they're covered in water, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add just a little bit of the crystal solution I saved. And what this will do is this will give a better surface for the crystals to bond to. The reason being is because these crystals are already solid, so more crystals are going to form on the already solid crystals. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit over the rocks.
Yep.
Now, the thing to remember is that this is not an instant process. So this is going to be a few days, maybe a week it's going to take for all the liquid to actually evaporate from this solution. But it's worth it in the end.
Yeah. This requires patience. So,
And it will be interesting to see what color crystals actually form. Because from the looks of it right now, we're going to have black crystals. But
yeah.
remember, we started with a variety of different colors. So it'll be interesting of a hypothesis to test to see if it forms black crystals or if it forms the original colors they were dissolved as. So we're going to find that out.
And you can add any amount of the monoammonium phosphate. You don't have to add like 4 in 1 like we did.
Yeah, most of the kits are designed so that you can make one of each color in the little pan they provide, but we wanted to make a giant arrangement of them. Normally these crystals, they don't form very large crystals, about 3 to 4 centimeters tops, I believe, depending again the conditions in which they grow. If it evaporates too fast, the crystals won't have a long enough time to form giant formations. They'll form really, really small crystals, which is still impressive, but we're going to see what happens. So we have this all dissolved. What do you want to add?
And you gotta add the solid crystals when you're done stirring and everything, and add the rocks in on top of the rocks, not like just around them or anything.
What that's going to do is the solid crystals are going to draw the dissolved minerals from the liquid, and it will help them form tall crystals on top of the rocks. It's actually pretty impressive, as you'll see shortly, because this will be a time-lapse video. So we're going to bring this down to the lab and we will check on it.
And you don't have to buy one of these kits. It's recommended that you do, so you don't have to like search forever to find all the ingredients like monoammonium phosphate. But if you're good at doing that sort of stuff on the internet or something, then yeah, you can buy monoammonium phosphate and water and get rocks from your yard. But yeah, just buy the kits to make it easier. Alright, so a week later, we got all the crystals ready.
Yep.
They really grew.
Yep, they finally dried out.
Yeah.
And, it fully crystallized.
It came out pretty good. The color is purplish, brownish, tannish,
the colors.
silver.
Yeah, the colors didn't separate into original colors like we thought. They actually formed one uniform color. So.
Yeah. So like on the inside, on the actual rocks, it's black.
Okay, so as you can see, this is the bread pan that we formed the crystals in, and it's like Jack was saying, we threw a couple rocks in so that they could have something to cling to and actually form these nice crystalline structures.
And I accidentally pulled this off a little while ago.
So the like we had said, there's one uniform color, and it formed quite nicely. I mean, it really filled in along the bottom here, and you can see it actually has a regular crystal shape. It's a little hard to see close like that, but
Yeah.
actually the minerals formed quite nicely.
And we didn't expect that because we added so much stuff.
Yep, it actually took this whole week too. This really didn't dry out till this morning or yesterday morning, but I mean, it came out quite nicely. So you can see that's just one easy way to do it. Those crystal kits.
So it's been a fun week of growing these, and
Good luck doing it on your own.
yeah, if you're doing it. So remember, we just out of curiosity added like 5 of the packets.
Right.
So you can just add 1, of course. I mean, it'll be easier to stir and have it all dissolved. But I guess that's it. So thanks for watching. See you next time.